Hey guys, it's Adam here and welcome back to a brand new video here on my channel. Or I should say welcome back to like my, biannual manic episode where I decided I wanted to do YouTube again. So we're back today for a new video. It's been, I want to say like 18 months since my last video. I think it was like September 2022. So sorry about that, but you know, it is what it is. I don't think you come here for consistency. So yeah, today we are renovating it's a beach house I built like 6 or 7 years ago. I don't know, I'm pretty sure there's a video up, but it's a really strange build. I don't know what I was going for, and like architecturally, like from the exterior it just looks strange, and then the interior, I don't know what the hell is going on. It's like, I think I had just gotten spa day when this came out, so there's a lot of like the spa day windows and like the very modern stuff from that pack, but then I have like these Victorian curtains up, and it's like, what are you doing here? What's the plan? So yeah, like to call it a renovation is a bit of a stretch. It's kind of nearly a complete redo. I mean, I like kept the essence of the original structure, but like I got rid of like the A-frame element and a lot of it. So you really would think they're two separate buildings, but you can see here that like it stemmed from the one footprint. The footprint completely changed. But yeah, I feel like I have like a little bit of, not like credibility, but like kind of, because I actually lived, so it was meant to be a Hamptons Beach House when I first built it. I don't know, I think I was watching Revenge, the TV show at the time, and so I was like, oh yeah, that's like the Hamptons. But like there's no really defining features. I don't think there was really anything coastal necessarily about it either, so it's like, I don't know. But I feel like I have a little bit of like credibility now, because I actually lived not in the Hamptons but on the east coast of the States in Massachusetts for 4 months. I was there from like the end of August to just before Christmas last year. So I did like a study abroad thing, like an exchange with the college in Massachusetts, and yeah, it was really cool. And it was my first time in the States, but I really loved it. It was a really cool opportunity, and I'm so grateful to have gotten it and to have made like some amazing friends. So I like to think I took some of like the inspiration of that from like, you know, being on the North Shore, and put it into this build. Maybe not even so much as I probably could have done, but I think having had that experience, it informed this a little bit more. So yeah, as you can see, we're kind of exterior detailing now. Really, like one of the only, I suppose, common features between the two builds is this kind of second floor deck that has actually stayed, even though there has been more interior space brought out onto it. But it's, I think, the same footprint. I may have shrank it slightly, but more or less the same. So you can see here we're working on what would be like the front of the build, quote unquote, but it is like a flipped house, so the bedrooms are on the ground floor technically, and then the living space is upstairs. So this would be like, we're adding onto where like the living room is, and then there's like an entrance hall, but it just goes out onto like a balcony kind of thing. Now there is stairs that lead down to the ground floor, so it could be the front door. I didn't set it to be when I uploaded it to the gallery, but you can do that if you want. But yeah, there's like 2 access points on the ground floor and then 2 on the first floor, so like you can pick and choose which is like your main entrance for the building that you want Sims to kind of immediately go to. So yeah, as I was saying, I like lived in the States for about 4 months, and that was like, honestly, like I still look back and I'm like, was it like some movie that I watched? Like it felt like an out-of-body experience. It was really, really, really cool. And yeah, so like I think my last video was like September 2022 I have in my head. So I think I had either just started college, or I was maybe waiting to find out if I had gotten my course. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to check because it's probably an awful video anyway. But yeah, it's crazy to think that like now I'm just finished my second year of college. Like I'm halfway through my degree. Like that is, it's crazy and it's scary and it's like I'm getting old. Like it's really wild to think that actually it would be around this time 7 years ago that I started this channel, which is insane to think about. Because it was like the end of my first year of secondary school, and I remember I was like sick, so I missed the last maybe week of school, and I was homesick. So yeah, it would have been like the end of May, start of June, and then I started uploading my crappy little videos made with like the inbuilt like video recorder inside in The Sims 4, and it's like terrible quality. I did use OBS for this, but I'm not sure like quite how it's turned out. It looks okay in the preview that I have here, but when I export it, it could look shitty, and if it does, I'm sorry. But you know what? As I say, you're not here for consistency or quality, so we're just working on this little front deck section that I was talking about earlier on. So we have just like an outdoor kitchen, a little outdoor dining table and a couple of chairs, and it's just like really nice views. Haven't started on the interior just yet. We're doing the little back porch now, so there's a sofa and a bar back here. So yeah, I think the initial house, I can't really remember what was in it. I think there was 3 bedrooms maybe. I think that's about right. And then on the upstairs there was, I think, just kind of one central like living space. So I've broken things up a little bit more this time. So like there's like an entrance hall, and then while the living space is technically one big room, I think the original one was literally just like one rectangle, whereas this is like, it has little bump outs here and there. It's a little bit more different. So like if you were actually in the space, you wouldn't have like a direct eye line through to the other spaces in the room, if that makes sense. So the course I'm doing in college is actually interior architecture, so I feel like now I look at this with like slightly more of like a professional head on me, but also at times I'm like, am I like out of my depth, like, so it's interesting. But yeah, and I wanted to go for like more, like lean more into like the coastal idea, because there really was none of that in the original house, and like it's meant to be like a Hamptons Beach House, so some bit of like coastal traditional elements, and then still some modern elements too, so this has a kitchen, dining room, living room. It has like a home office. I want to say 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, but I could be wrong. And there's like a little laundry room as well. So yeah, it's like a nice family home. It's quite a decent size actually for like, if you were to play with like 4 Sims, so like 2 parents and 2 kids or what have you, but yeah, so we're working on the kitchen at the minute. I wanted to lean into that like traditional coastal, because I think in the original kitchen in this house it was like the spa day counters, which like really are for like a commercial, not like a commercial spa, so they're like very modern and stuff, and like they're nice in the right context, but like this was not the right context, so I'm glad to just like look back on where I came from. It's kind of cool to look back and see like how I've grown. I think one huge thing with like my earlier builds, was there was just like not a lot of detail. It was very like surface level. I feel like it was like you put in the necessities, you don't really like make it feel lived in, so I definitely wanted to do that here. I think for this build I do show a lot of like grabbing the detail bits out of like the little menus and stuff and placing them around. I do actually have a second video recorded, if you can believe it, and another renovation of an old build of mine. I have to edit it yet, but I did that, and it was more like get the kind of the basics in on camera and then do the detailing off camera, which I did it for like time's sake because I didn't want the video to be too long. And when I had it in my editing software, like all the clips a while ago, and it was like 2 hours before anything was like cut or sped up or anything. So I don't think it really made much of a difference on the actual length. I think this build was like 1 hour and 20 before I like sped it up and stuff. So yeah, it's like, I don't know, don't question it. But yeah, like as I was saying, it's been like 7 years since I started this channel, which is kind of insane to think about. And like, what really gets me was like when I started this, like whatever, the first summer, I guess, was like very casual. It was like, you know, I wasn't like doing too much for myself, but it was like the end of like the summer when I went back into school in September. I remember I like did like the townhouse collab, which like it brought me like so many amazing friends who were like, okay, I haven't talked to them in like probably like since like pre-COVID, to be honest, like Lacey and Leah. But like when I think of like the drama that I was involved in, it's like it's kind of funny, to be honest. Like I was looking through like Discord, like old messages and groups and stuff the other day, and it's so funny to me. But yeah, like I don't know if like Lacey or Leah or anyone is watching this, but if you are, I love you guys. I miss you guys. You know, I have some really amazing memories with you people, and so like it was worth all the drama, I would say. But yeah, that's like it's just wild to think about like where I've come from, you know. So another thing that like has, I suppose, changed or like happened in my life since I like last spoke to you guys, I've started learning to drive. So you know, that's like I'm only 20, so you know, I only took my time. I've been wanting to do it for like years, and in Ireland you can get like your provisional, your like learner's permit when you're 17. So I did that and then didn't do lessons until I was 20. So make that make sense, you know. But no, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm like on the waiting list now for a driving test, so that should be happening in like, my instructor reckons like 6 to 8 weeks, which is like kind of crazy because I've only been like driving since like April, and it's the end of May when I'm recording this. So like, I mean, if I pass, that would be like kind of really cool for me. But I don't know. I'm quite a confident driver, but sometimes like a little bit overconfident, I feel like. Like I would be like driving out onto like a roundabout or a circular intersection, as the Americans call it. I would be like driving out onto one, and my instructor would be like, slow down, like there's cars coming around, and I'm like, no, I got it, you know. Right away be damned. No, I'm joking. But yeah, like I'm quite a confident driver, I would say, in myself. So yeah. So you know, just to get back on topic, we're working on the entrance hall right now. So again, I went for like whites and like greens and blues in this house, kind of that coastal. It's coastal, but it's not like the like white and navy that I feel like is like stereotypical, like, oh, I want to be like a nautical theme, so it's like white and navy stripes, you know. Yeah, so like lots of like whites and actually a lot of woods in this too, which I really like. I think it just adds like a bit of warmth to the space. And yeah, we are now down on the ground floor, I should say, working on a little laundry room. I don't actually know if this works, I'm going to be 100% honest. I haven't play tested it, but it should do, you know. Let's cross our fingers and hope for the best, but I don't know. I just wanted to like add that like realism element into the space, and I think it's really stupid because it's like, it's literally a laundry room, but I really like the space. I think it's a really cool space. So yeah, there's like lots of detail. Like you can say I put like a weight and like a yoga mat kind of rolled up, so it's like there's like a storage element to it too, you know, which I think is quite realistic. We're now onto the master suite. So in the original build, I did like, I don't know what I was on. I had this like open concept master suite, so there was like no walls separating the master bed and the master bath, that was very quick. Sorry, we're all down to a different room. Anyway, it was like very open concept, and there was like a window, and it was strange. I like it in theory, but it was just weird, whatever I was doing, you know. So I wanted to keep that essence, I suppose, in this build. So I used, it's like technically an arch from, I think, Horse Ranch. Oh my god, we're holding out screenshots. Okay. You know what? I'll let you guys figure that out for yourself. Here's just a before and after of the exterior, the front and the back, and then there's just some interior shots of the new build. I didn't do like before and afters because there's really no comparison. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll actually, you know what, I'm gonna stick here through this. So this is that little entrance hall. You can see there's like some like different timber elements, lots of whites. Here we are into the kitchen. You can see there's like just more detail, I think, than my old builds used to have. And it really makes for a nicer playing experience, I think. Just to make that, it feels a lot more realistic, you know. So here we have the living room. And then the home office, there's like an easel and like some canvases. Here's a bathroom, really exciting stuff, you know. And that back deck that I was talking about a little bit earlier. Jeez, there's a lot of screenshots here. This is like the downstairs entrance hall, if that makes any sense. That laundry room, again, I really like the tiles I used in here. And then this is the master bed. And when we swing around here, okay, you can't really see it, but there's like the horse ranch. It's technically an archway, but it looks like barn doors. I used that in the master bath to give the idea of like the open concept thing, but it's actually functional this time. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, and I will see you in about a year's time.